Hello, my name is Lara Law. My student ID is 5036701. This is my Distinction 1 task for SIT112. I chose my preset topic of COVID-19 because I felt this was already set up and would enable me to focus more on my data preparation, cleaning and visualization. I analysed the YouTube data from comments and videos from 4 news channels: Fox News, BBC News, CNN and MSNBC. It related to comments over time, parent comments and likes over time, the top 10 news comments with the most replies, and I also cleaned and prepared the data and analysed it using various visualization tools. I set up everything by firstly creating a Google Cloud Console profile, and that identified me. I then organised a YouTube data API and an API key. The YouTube data API allows me to communicate with the YouTube servers using my Python code, and it gives me authorization access, and the API key I can use in my INI credentials file. That keeps the key safe, so it's not hard-coded to my notebook file. And then I then use that API key that enabled the YouTube API to extract channel IDs and other video metadata, and then from there the notebook filtered the information such as the keywords, channels and date range. Then it saved the results into a structured CSV file called videos.csv and comments.csv. So let's have a look at what I've done in regards to the cleaning firstly. So you can see there that's got my notebook, and we're going to have a look there. We can see that we've got all of the settings that I copied over from the Collect notebook, and you'll see there the channels directory that shows all of the channel names correctly. And then we've got the import libraries here, which I imported. I used pip install because I already had that on my system. And then this is the code that I used to clean. So you'll see there that I used a data frame there of videos to read the video CSV file and the comment CSV file. And I also did a few other things. I'll just highlight a couple of them. I removed duplicates and missing IDs, so I did some normalization. So you'll see there that I did the drop underscore duplicates there. You'll also see that I normalized the text where I've got my cursor. That's taking out any spaces and making all the text lowercase so that it would be easier for it to be read and for plotting as well. I also ensured that the numerical columns were numeric so that it would count correctly. So let's then have a look at the actual questions to see which ones I chose and what I did. So we'll go further down here and we'll have a look. And I found that the information cleaned, the code cleaning that was already preset was good. That was mainly to set up date and time and duration. So firstly, I did E13 that you can see there, and there we've got, I've assigned, you can see there that I've assigned comments that have been calculated to events, COVID-19 events. I've also done group by year, which you can see there with year and DT year. By grouping it, I grouped it there at group by. So I put those, the event and the year together so that I could make the data represent properly in the graph. So I did a bar graph. So you'll see there that I did a bar graph. You'll see that the highest spike is when COVID-19 first started in 2020, and I was observing that that information, the announcements, not so much, that didn't spike, that remained consistent pretty much over the whole 5 years. It was mainly that the lockdowns affected people personally is what spiked the data. And yeah, that was pretty much what I noticed from that. I suppose another thing with the code as well is that I had, with these red labels there, you can see I had to just make sure they were spaced out. So I used the 100 there to space them out correctly, because they're also on the wrong rotation as well. So I fixed that. Now let's go and have a look at the next one. So the next one I did was E14, and having a look at some of this code, I found that the column channel title, it incorrectly had MS Now instead of the proper channel name of MSNBC. So here you can see there that I have done a reference from channel title there. I've actually referenced it to the channels directory, which was at the top when we first started. I'll show you now. I referenced it to that cell instead for my channel title, because I knew that that was correct. So you'll see there that it's just referencing these names instead of straight from the columns in the data set. So that's good. Let's go down and we'll have another look there. So I found this plot rather interesting because I've never done a violin plot before. So I found that quite interesting. There's a number of things that I did with my code, but I'll mainly just show you there that I did the violin plot, but then I did a strip plot overlaying it, and I used that so that I could show the comments. So these things here, they represent the comments, and the grey represents the likes. So what I noticed about this was that the comments were a lot, and the likes were pretty much 0 consistently. So what that showed was that people rather to interact more personally with words than by a click of a button and observe. So it was rather interesting to note that 81% of parents' comments had 0 likes from all the major news publishers. And then we'll just quickly go over the last one. I did E21 was my other one, and so I used this one. The code that I've used there was to identify the parent comments, and I filtered out all replies to focus on the top level comments, and that was what the ISNA represented, was detecting if there was a NaN value, and to show that, and to filter that out, I mean. Yep, so that was all good. Also, I did the code there to show the top 10 comments, so that calculated that. And I also did some more normalization. I shortened the the comments to 50 characters, so that would show nicely in the plot display. So here we go, we're having a look. There is my pretty lollipop plot, and you'll see there that again we've got MSNBC and those other news channels are, that code is all from the channels directory, not from channel title, so that I could get that showing properly. And you can see there that 80 replies was the highest, and it looked like MSNBC had pretty much all of the top comments, and the top one there was related to about a political commentary on Trump. So you've got other comments about COVID-19 and other things, but the most reaction and engagement from the audience was about the politics, and that was quite surprising. Lastly, I was going to go through the challenges that I had with it, and that was that there was no reply count for the column that I did for the lollipop plot, so I pretty much just had to go with comment like count instead. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and you take care for now, and I hope you found it informative. Thanks very much.